two. 1, 2. 1, 2.
It's the Casey MacGill Cocktail Hour. Coming to you live from the fabled Ridgewood Room, high atop the hills of Tacoma, the Casey MacGill Cocktail Hour, a collection of music, news, and personality. Enjoy our special musical guests, fabulous dancers, celebrity bartenders, and our quiz Tacoma Squares with incredible prizes. So sit back, relax, mix up a little libation, and join us for a cocktail, culture, and camaraderie.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Casey MacGill Cocktail Hour. Believe it or not, this is actually Casey MacGill, and still alive in Tacoma, Washington, hiking around the hills here, and we've got a great show for you tonight. We have our special musical guests, Danny and Perry, and we have a fabulous cocktail, sugarless cocktail, that's going to be mixed up by our master of libation, the lovely Jude Swift. And she does look lovely tonight in her fabulous garage studio. And let's get these other squares up here so I can introduce everybody. I'm speaking to, there we go. Right next to me on the screen in the fabulous cream dinner jacket is our good friend, Mr. Walter Harley.
Cheers to you, Casey.
Walter, good to see you. Always a pleasure. And just a few words about Mr. Harley. Walter, in addition to playing a mean 12-string guitar and doing original music of his own, is currently involved in constructing a cabin in the pines. And, it's very exciting. I don't know, we don't have any pictures of it, do we?
I'm sorry, say what was that again, Casey?
I said you are in the process of constructing a cabin in the pines. Can you hear me okay?
I am. You're a little muffled, Casey. You sound like you're coming through a microphone that's a little far away from you.
Oh, that's funny. It's right here.
Is it on? Is the light on?
The
Yeah.
light's on, but I'm not home.
Ah. Jessica, you sound marvelous. Marvelous.
Okay.
You'll just have to project, Casey.
Is that any better? Hello!
There you
That's
go.
better.
That's
Yeah,
better.
that's better.
You gotta keep doing that though.
I don't know if that's better. It's louder. But anyway, Walter is in the midst of constructing a lovely home out in the pines in an area called Deception Pass. What island is that on?
It is on Fidalgo Island, which you wouldn't really know it's an island because there's a bridge. The highway goes right to it.
I thought the dog was some sort of a cream sauce.
That would explain some of the difficulty in pouring the foundation.
I see. A little, just add flour, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so he's in the midst of doing that, and while he's doing that, down in Hood River, we have the fabulous Mr. Ronnie Ontiveros. There he is.
Fabulous.
And his latest X-ray behind him.
I don't really switch out the microphone with mine.
Oh, really? Is this not working?
Not well.
No, okay.
Might as well.
How about this one? Is that any better?
Nope, no different.
No different. Okay. Great.
Okay.
That's a great CD, by the way.
Well, it looks like we're in for a real poop fest tonight.
Oh, we heard that.
I couldn't
As
quite
long
make
as-
that
as long
out.
as
Could
piano
you
sounds
just
good.
repeat that louder?
Could you do that but with the opera voice?
The point of phrase. Anyway, so Ronnie is a co-conspirator with a gentleman named Ben Bonham, who makes ukuleles and also lives in Hood River. They have a number of musical groups, the Hoppa Hillbillies, and another one called
That's just horrible.
Big Ron and Medium Ben. Oh,
He also makes giant bass guitars
oh, look at that, bass guitar.
Oh, wow.
that are too wide.
Wow, that's one of Ben Bonham's instrumental creations. And then there's a string bass behind you that you play on occasion as well.
Yeah.
And I understand not only is Danny doing drawings right now, but you are also. You're doing something else at the house.
A little bit.
That's great. That's great. Well, the pandemic has definitely turned things around and brought out all kinds of latent talents and all kinds of other latent things as well. Yeah. So, and then I want to direct your attention to our good friend Jude, who is playing with her hair right now. And Jude is sequestered in her custom-built garage, which is now a studio for her quilting activity, and also for her adventures in mixology. So she's going to treat us to a little bit later. Jude, we're excited to get to see some of your quilting. Would you like to just give us a peek at something right now?
Oh, you mean live?
No, just a little bit. Show us one of those quilts.
I think Jessica has the photos of all that stuff, doesn't she?
I just thought you might have something.
Oh, I'm in the studio right now, which is like, yeah, that's the stuff she has the pictures of, but that's old school.
Wow.
Yeah, and here's one.
Beautiful.
Here's one that I finished. Let's see, let me move computer around. Here's one that I finished on Tuesday. Hold on. I'm going to.
Tour.
Here we go. Yeah.
There you go.
This polka dot
Ooh
one.
la la.
Great.
Yeah, I finished that on Tuesday, and it's all hand stitched, Jessica. Everything's like hand quilted.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. I love that.
Thank you. I'm crazy about it. It was a I got some fabric from Japan. That's all that fabric from Japan. And I ordered polka dots because, hey, they were really cool colorways and everything. And so I ordered this one that was sort of like blue and peach colored. And it came, and the scale of it was so flippin' big that I just went, what am I going to do? And then the little voice over here went, double down. Cut them up into circles and add them to the composition.
Smart.
And
Was that like the mini Jude voice?
you mean, oh yeah, the mini Jude voice. Double down, bitch.
Double down. I love it when you're profane.
Oh, honey, I got a million of them.
Yeah. Well,
But I never say fuck in front of the KIDS though.
okay, I'm glad.
Never.
Because that's not permissible on this show.
That's my job.
Yeah. That's the voice behind the camera. Who was that? Anyway, so well, last but certainly not least are our absolutely delightful musical talents this evening, and I'm referring to Danny and Perry. And on our left is Perry with the dark shirt and the chapeau, and then next to Perry is Danny. And we're delighted to welcome them as musical guests. You were on the holiday show, and it's lovely to get to feature you on some more music this time. And as all of you out there in virtual land will see, there's a wall full of musical instruments behind you. And so you actually have a music store in your home. Is that correct?
We do.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Our front door opens open to the street, right up there. So there's a lot of, yeah.
Isn't that usually what front doors do?
Yeah. Actually, when I said that, I thought, how often is it that a front door doesn't do that?
Just
But,
check.
I mean, it's the big city out there. That's the point. There's
Right outside.
There's a lot of
Big city.
hubbub
My front door
right
is on the
outside
side of
that
the house.
door.
Our front door, same thing.
No, it's different. This is a
We
different
moved from
kind
the
of front door.
country, So.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
You'll have to
We
come
know
see
you.
sometime, and then I'm sure you'll
Then
agree.
you'll understand.
Okay.
But she might come back on.
Oh, did she have to excuse herself or something?
No, it's just a computer issue.
Oh, I see. We do have one more guest, and that is our sister Sarah, who will be joining us from Oakland, California. But right now, we'd like to move forward with the show and treat you to some great music from Danny and Perry right now. Oh, there's Sarah. She's back. There she is.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Computer crash.
That's okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to expand the screen and give Danny and Barry.
Okay.
Yeah. So, kids, go ahead and play a couple of numbers. What's your first tune for this evening?
We would like to pay a little homage to Georgia.
State of Georgia.
We're very grateful this year. We have a lot to be grateful for.
By the way, you look lovely tonight. And you too, Danny.
Thanks a lot. Anyway, this song's dedicated to Georgia. It's called Georgia. Right? Okay. Here we go. You ready? All right.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through. Just that old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia, Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pine. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still and peaceful dreams I see, the road leads back to you. Georgia, oh Georgia, no peace I find, just that old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still and peaceful dreams I see, the road leads back to you. Georgia, oh, Georgia, no peace I find, just that old sweet song keeps Georgia, just that old sweet song keeps Georgia on, just that old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely.
And I believe we have another song for you as well.
Yes, please.
Now, what Perry's playing is what we call the baby baritone ukulele.
Uh-huh.
And it originally was a tenor ukulele, but it's got like a bigger body, and so Perry was experimenting one day with some baritone strings, and now realized that it worked really well because of the size of the body. So now this is a very versatile instrument. If you want to make it a baritone, you just put new strings on it.
Oh, wow.
And so we're both playing baritones today.
That looks like sounds really good.
Thanks, man. It's got a big body for a tenor, but it's small for a baritone. But if you're used to playing a tenor, if you want to play baritone and you don't want to deal with a different scale length, this might be the baritone ukulele for you. The baby baritone, we love them.
Yeah.
Very good.
By Romero. So this is another song that's just fantastic that we love. I won't give it away, but I will say that I did find a Woolworth in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Wow.
And not only is it a clothing store, but it's also a grocery store there. So I found that to be
It's a restaurant too.
very
I think
interesting.
there's
There's a
some
cafe
places.
and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Pretty
see if
much you can get anything at the Woolworths in Johannesburg.
Really can.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
So see if you can figure out this song.
All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I've plenty of, baby. Dream a while, scheme a while. You're sure to find happiness, and I guess all the things you've always pined for. Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell, baby. Diamond bracelets Woolworth doesn't sell, baby. To that lucky day, you know darn well, oh baby, I can't give you anything but love.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Love that tune.
Oh, that was great. Those ukes are so nicely matched. Don't they sound great together? I love it.
I think so.
Thank you.
So we have two tenors, and one of them is strung like a baritone, and the other one is strung like a tenor. Is that
These
it?
ones are actually both strung like baritone, and one's koa and one's mahogany.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they sound wonderful together.
Thank you.
I love that, and I like your arrangement. Of the two ukes too. That's really fun.
Thank you.
Thanks,
That's I'll give Perry credit for that one. He comes up with all
Yeah,
kinds of stuff like this.
That vocal wasn't bad either.
That was
I'll take credit for the vocal.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I would be remiss if we got too much further into the show without doing a song myself. So I'm going to do an original tune that'll be a little bit of a nod towards our Black History Month. On my daily broadcast, I've been doing songs by Black composers, but this one is an original of mine, and it's dedicated to Jelly Roll Morton. And it's called A Postcard from Jelly. It's an instrumental thing. And the song has two different parts. And those of you who are familiar with classical music will recognize the form, which is a song form and trio. So the first part of it is in minor, and it's a 2-beat. And then when we get to the trio, we go to the relative major of G, and then we're into a habanera bass and more of a Latin rhythm. And so the idea is Jelly Roll Morton lived in Los Angeles back in over 100 years ago, back in the teens. There he is. Look at that. That's the Robert Crumb illustration from a photograph of him from the 1920s. It's a great book that Ronnie. That was great, Ronnie. You just jumped right in there. That was fantastic.
Do I win a square or something?
Yeah. Wow. You get one of the prizes from the game show.
Thank you.
You get one of my band T-shirts from the 1980s.
I've got one of your posters from the 70s.
Boy, just give him more points.
I know. My goodness. Anyway, so Morton lived in L.A. back around 1917 or something like that, and he had a job in Tijuana in Mexico across the border. And it was ironic because the place he worked was called the Kansas City Bar. And he wrote a piece called Kansas City Stomps. And this one, and he also wrote a song called Tijuana. But so the whole idea is, at first he's in Los Angeles in the first part, and then he goes to Mexico and he sends a postcard back to LA, and it's the little Latin tinge. So here's a little bit of a postcard from Jelly. Thank you very much. Hey, at this point, after doing that song, I think we're all ready for a drink. So let's bring on Jude. And Jude, I know you've got something special. You're experimenting with cocktails now without sugar. Oh, we need to unmute her.
I think she's mute. Jude, we cannot.
Okay, can you hear me?
We are. Okay.
All right, you're good. Hey, hi. You know, I've just the COVID thing has made me realize that I could still have all my delights in my life without sugar. So, so I started thinking about how to make a cocktail without sugar, and I think you start with a glass, and then here's the deal: there's flavor profiles. I mean, not to get, you know, but I mean, the sparkling water comes in like a million different flavors right now, and a lot of people make fun of La Croix and sparkling water, but I don't care. So my favorite is La Croix passion fruit, and I really like it. And I thought, oh, passion fruit, that would pair well with like a really nice bourbon, you know, because that's got a little bit of a sweetness. So you could go, I love Basil Hayden's and I love Bullet. And so then I thought, okay, what should we do for texture and sweetness? So I got a muddler, and which I love, and I love the name muddler. And then I'm muddling raspberries right here, and then I am just pouring them into this beautiful little glass. I'll show you in a second. Okay. So here's the raspberries. You know, all in, it's very pretty. And then you just take whatever your poison is. I'm just going to do a light, like a one shot kind of thing. So you just pour it in here. And let's see, there we go. Pour it in here. And then you just mix it until it becomes this beautiful kind of soup. And then so it's kind of a soup now. And then you take some passion fruit La Croix and you just pour it in there to fizz it up, you know, like a bourbon soda, whiskey soda, vodka soda, whatever. And then you just drop, there you go, just drop some ice cubes in it. Wow. And you've got yourself a beautiful, fresh, boozy, filled with vitamin C, nose tickling, almost 0 calorie cocktail.
A little whipped cream on that one.
Yeah, right. Well, actually, you could if you were going unsweetened whipped cream, you could. But it's just like, it's funny. Like sugar is just this thing where you get so used to it, and then you go without it, and you go, wow, it was really messing with me. So, I just. Yeah. And I found out that like that whiskey, like I love Koval rye whiskey, and I don't drink vodka that much, but you just get yourself like a nice vodka, whatever. And I do really enjoy bourbon, and I was really enjoying it with ginger beer. And ginger beer is just filled with sugar. So so I haven't tried doing something with like ginger and I don't know, ginger. I guess fruit is the thing that would have the sugar, and raspberries and blackberries have like the least amount of sugar, which I've learned. So so I decided to stick with that, and so I'm gonna call this the Casey MacGill Refresher.
What a great name.
Jude, have you played with shrubs at all, which I guess are like a vinegar-based infusion?
No, that sounds interesting. You mean like, well, I've always done balsamic on strawberries. Is that kind of what you mean?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about it. I hear about it being done as like an alternative to, you know, imagine you make a blackberry syrup or a ginger syrup, right? And that's all sweet. But if you don't want to go with sugar, then how can you get the ginger flavor in?
Right.
And people make these things called shrubs, and I don't know a whole lot about it.
Well, I think I'm definitely going to Google that. I'm going to Google that at 8 o'clock. and figure that out, because honestly, flavor is, just like, well, I do think very much that we're lucky we have salt and pepper, because it totally brings out flavor. But in cocktails, it's like, unless, I mean, you could do like, what is a savory cocktail? Like a Bloody Mary or, but pretty much everything else has sugar in it, and so that's what I started. I think I'm going to have to go further into this, but I had raspberries and blackberries in my refrigerator, and these alcohols in my bar, and these fizzy waters in my cabinet. So 1 + 1 + 1 equals Casey MacGill's Refresher.
Delicious.
So there you go. I'm going to take a sip of this for a second. Oh my God.
And it matches your lipstick.
And my earrings.
And your earrings.
Can you do that? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's got the taste of old Europe.
You know what? This is killer. I think it's better than the blackberries with the vodka, although I'm going to end up pouring this down the sink, because I don't think I should mix these, my vodka drink with my bourbon drink.
Oh, what the hell?
At least that's what I tell you guys. So,
yeah.
So I mean, I think what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm going to experiment more with like flavors, and I had this friend, the sax player I used to play with down here, and he was super no sugar, no carbs. He was already skinny, skateboarder guy, and so I hate him, and but anyway, he would always be posting these recipes for like with carob and just all this crap, and I just thought, you've got to be politically oriented to only be. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody here, but it's just like, I think flavor is something that's very worth pursuing, and I think that flavor substitutes are a really tricky business. Because people think that, chocolate bad, and it turns out that super high percentage of chocolate, cocoa, the super bitter, sweet chocolate, that has almost no sugar in it. And it's just full out flavor, so I think I'm going to start experimenting with that. But honestly, this is just my start.
Carob got a bad rap in the 70s.
It did get a bad rap.
Great stuff. You can use it as to fill, scratches in your furniture, or as a spackle. It's
there you go. A little bit of eyeliner, like a little
right.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And although my friend convinced me to get a proper espresso machine, that steams the milk and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never even spent this much money in Starbucks in my entire life, So I got a mini one that just like makes one, but it's a good one. And every morning I look forward to that. It's like, it's just such a great flavor with the steamed cream, half and half, and the really, really strong coffee. And it's just, I don't know, it just feels civilized to me. So
do you eat wheat?
Do I eat wheat? No, not right now. Not now. No, I'm currently doing no wheat, no sugar, and because I have to.
For you.
well, I mean, here's the thing: is that like I did it a lot last year because I had to really bring my blood sugar down, and I was pretty successful. And then all of a sudden, it's just like I was in Japan. I can't believe I was in Japan in January, last January. And everything was like being served to us. And Japanese love their sugar, despite the fact that they love their fish. And so I kind of got hooked back into sugar again. And then with COVID and everything, it's like I put on an uncomfortable amount of pounds. And I just thought, well, just cut out sugar and wheat and see what happens. Not just cut out sugar and wheat, because I think many years of my life, I thought I would die without sugar and wheat. But I'm finding that there's lots of, and fat is not unhealthy. Like good fat is not unhealthy. So like, I'm just finding like different textures and satiety foods and all that kind of stuff. And this alcohol, it's like everything in moderation, but it's like, I can go and drink with other people and it's fine. It's awesome. So this isn't about me. It's more about flavor. That's what I wanted to make. It's more about the Casey MacGill refresher copyright.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, our celebrity cocktail mixologist,
Yay.
Jude. That was a wonderful presentation, and I can't wait to have you back on the show with another fabulous recipe for personal enjoyment. And at this point, I'm very excited to tell everyone that it's time for us to play our game. It's time for our great quiz show. Yes, I'm talking about
Tacoma Squares. Woo!
All right, Tacoma Squares. So the way this works is that those of you out there in the audience and also those of you on the show can guess at these questions, and the winner is eligible for fabulous, fabulous prizes. And what kind of prizes do we have, Casey? Well, let me tell you. I'm an avid, obsessed collector of old fortune magazines from 1930 to 1941. And so what happened is I've just about got all of them. And in the process of doing that, I did some upgrading and had some duplicates. So I have some duplicates of these magazines that are going to be prizes for the correct answers. Here's one of them.
Ooh.
This is from December of 1930, and this is like heavy cardstock covers, and it's got a couple of these have some.
Oh, look at that ad!
Some things cut out, but there's an ad for
wow, Dodge boats.
Wow.
Yeah, and let's see, I'll find another one. There's a great ad for Cadillac in here as well.
It's back when ads were hand painted.
Everything's.
Here you go.
Ads and Cadillacs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that slanted type.
Yeah,
nice.
It's beautiful. Anyway, and then there's all kinds of feature articles, and they also did a very nice job of doing color maps back in the
Everyone needs one of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, that's one of our prizes. I've got a couple others to choose from. Here's one from January of 1936.
Wow, I like that one. Whoa.
And this is January of 1931.
Oh.
And these, let's see if I have another interesting ad in here.
You can learn a lot about illustration from a magazine.
Yeah, golden era of graphic design.
So Casey, do we just yell the answers, or
Yeah.
how do you play?
Yeah, you can yell the answers. This is an advertisement for renting space in the Empire State Building. It's brand new.
Love it.
Wow.
Tallest building
It
in the
has
world.
not been completely occupied yet at the time of this printing. Let's see. What else do we have?
You wouldn't expect that would be something you'd need to advertise.
Yeah. However, here's okay. And then they have I want to
Well. Oh.
and they have a lot of color illustrations. These are paintings that were commissioned, and these are of steel mills. And you can actually find a lot of illustrations by artists who have become famous. There's one cover on one of these from Diego Rivera from 1932.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of photographs of oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of this female photographer, really famous. Can't remember her name, but anyway, there's a lot of great photographers who did feature work for the magazine, and then there's all these crazy illustrations. This is one about uniforms. We have all these.
Diane
Arbus.
Arbus.
No, before her.
Before her, right? This would be before that, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Oh, here's a car ad on the back, the Rio Royale.
Oh.
Isn't that nice? So I actually
Somebody in the chat said, "Is it Imogene Cunningham?" Imogene.
Oh,
Cunningham?
good call.
Good guess, but no.
Okay.
No, sorry. But that is she's the right era. And then some other prizes we have. I have some. I wasn't kidding about the band T-shirts.
And Cowboys.
The Zen Cowboys.
Ooh, I like the red one.
And that band lasted about 6 months. And
Long enough to buy T-shirts. I see.
Yeah, you know, the whole thing about having a band is the minute you get the T-shirts made, that's like the death knell. For the band.
A kiss of death to your band.
This band is going to be over soon.
The DeSotos.
I like that.
Yeah, that was taken off copied off of a hubcap for like a 41 DeSoto.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've got some of those, and now we're going to get to our questions.
Well, what about the CDs?
Oh, CDs, yeah.
Oh,
there
yeah.
we go.
CDs.
Yeah, you can also get one of my CDs. We have the High Five, Am I Blue, and my Hapa Haole CD, Hawaii of My Dreams, my vintage ancient CD from the 1990s, Jump, which got me a job on Broadway with a lot of original tunes, and then the Casey MacGill Orchestra. It's kind of an EP, and that was a live recording of our 13-piece orchestra. So,
Okay. Quiz
All right.
questions.
Quiz questions.
Here we go. First
Our
one.
first question.
So we can take answers from the audience on the chat.
Yeah, on the chat. So-
And we're generous with prizes. And
That's
then
right.
on-screen audience, just yell out.
And sure,
So
you don't
we
want.
can answer?
Yeah, you can answer. Everybody can answer. Okay, here we go.
Okay, what is the name of Tacoma's minor league baseball team? A, the Tacoma Timbers. B, the Defiance. C, the Rainiers. Or D, Grit City Bats. Do we have a guess?
I think it's A.
I'm going to go with B.
Yeah.
What?
I say B.
B? Nope.
I like D, Grit City Bats.
I know I like it too, but
Okay.
he turns out,
Right.
right, he has.
Definitely.
Oh,
Oh,
Rainiers.
lots of votes for C on the.
Lots of us.
Jack-
Okay, we got a
Rainiers.
lot of
Yeah,
Tacoma.
Devon.
Yay, we have Tacoma
Yeah.
people watching.
Jack
I'm gonna go with the C now.
Randall both
A lot
got
of
the
people
correct
said C.
answer.
A lot of people
And
said
Nick-
C.
Ian was the first one.
You
Better
gotta
write down those names.
Just kidding.
Okay, so
We'll
we've
get them.
got we've got some several correct answers, and I'm really delighted to see that. We're gonna. I can't wait to get some more space in the basement. And, so if you will just send us a either a Facebook message or an email or
Yeah, go to the
Or a
website.
$20 bill with your address on it.
there you go. Or you can go to the website and send us a submission and tell us that you won the question for the first question, and then what you'd like your prize to be with a mailing address. Then we'll get that out to you. Okay.
Oh.
And those of you on the show, think about what you would like, and I will be happy to get that to you as well.
Too bad we don't have that wine from Jesse.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Here we go.
I'll take the
Question
piano.
Second question.
Two.
Which famous song? Oh, Maceo Pinker. I'm going to be featuring him in just a few moments. He's a black songwriter who was around in the 1920s and 30s, and I'm going to be doing a collection of his songs shortly. Which famous song did he write? A, Sweet Georgia Brown. B, Moonglow. C, After You've Gone. Or D, Some of These Days.
B, Moonglow.
Incorrect.
D, I say. Some of these days.
Nope.
The
Nope.
answer is A, Sweet Georgia
Ah.
Brown.
Oh,
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did anyone get it?
No one got it. No
no
one.
one got it.
No, 'cause
Yeah, that's okay. And I'm going to be playing a little mini portion of his tune.
Cake, that's no fair.
They know we're generous here.
Now, wait a minute. All right.
Okay.
So we're going to be, yeah, she also plays. So we're going to go to our third question. Well, it's okay. I mean, we got a lot of correct answers on the first.
Yeah.
So our third
We're going to
question.
be broke. No.
This now is a Danny Joy question. Aside from genetics, what does Danny Joy have in common with her dad and her grandpa? A, ukulele store. B, they all play accordion. C, same birthday. Or D, a root beer addiction.
Hey,
That's A. Ukulele store.
You're correct.
Ooh, wow, we got a lot of winners
That's right.
here.
So Sarah's got the right answer. Is anybody else?
me. I did.
Well, I'll be.
Okay.
It's A and D, if I'm honest.
Oh, really?
Really?
They
Just
all
kidding.
play accordion.
Oh,
Wow.
Whoa.
She's come out with her root beer addiction on our show.
no,
All
no.
right.
The accordion.
I
Wait,
feel like I can really talk to you guys. You know,
did you say D or B?
D
But
is
you
in
could
Danny.
play ukulele anytime, right?
With that?
I wanted to know if she really played accordion
Uh-huh.
because
Oh,
we have
no.
a little. We have some graphics here. Here we go. There's Danny's grandpa.
That's Danny's grandpa.
That's right, Mr. Byron Harriet.
Wanky pants.
Those are the
Nice
pants.
accordion.
Those pants.
My grandma made those.
How come you don't make me some? of
Wow.
those, Sandy?
I'm so.
Sewing at home. Let me see. Here's a.
Hey, Danny, did you ever see those trousers of your grandfather?
And I did not, you know, he was
Wow.
in his 40s when my dad was born, so he was pretty ancient by the time I met him.
Okay.
Matching hat.
Oh.
There you go, Ronnie.
Now, do we all have to haul out our accordions? I've got a couple under the piano.
Ronnie has a very illustrative sense of humor.
Okay. We have also
And that is her dad.
This is
Mm.
my dad's stew.
And the ukulele store.
Yeah.
And
Second
Danny
music store.
grew up in an apartment right above that store.
Where
Wow.
was that?
Well, actually, I grew up in an apartment above my grandfather's store.
Oh.
And that last picture was in Roseville, and I know a lot of the people watching were familiar with my dad, so it was between a Trader Joe's and a grocery outlet.
Wow.
That's
No
perfect.
upstairs.
That's perfect. You get a lot of customers.
A lot,
Yep.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to call him the gross out. So, Roseville in Oregon or California?
California.
Oh, okay.
It's a suburb of Sacramento.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm. And the
Right.
store actually is there today. It's just moved to the quaint downtown area that's very picturesque and
Oh.
adorable. Yeah. And it's a much bigger
Downtown.
store now. So
Downtown in Roseville.
in Roseville. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Highly recommend it.
Well, next trip we make to California, we'll have to check it out.
Yeah. And then you'll have to come see us on the way down.
There, exactly so. Yeah, well, that's great. So that concludes our this edition of Tacoma Squares.
Woo!
And
some more music.
And now it's time to get back to some more music, and it's time to bring back Danny and Perry.
All right. We can all.
Please favor
Well,
us with a couple more tunes.
We're not too fancy tonight. We're just drinking neat Hornitos.
Just drinking straight tequila.
Wow.
I just sip on my liquor. I like the taste of the liquor. I don't want to mix
Babu.
anything with it. But I'm also on the wagon with Jude about no sugar. That's been one of my pandemic goals too. And boy, is it hard, but the inflammation is down, and that's well worth it, in my opinion. So if you deal with body aches, it might be sugar.
Oh,
You
sugar.
need sugar when you have Hornitos.
That's right.
Exactly. I know there's sugar
And you
in
have
there
horny
too.
toes.
But it makes me forget about the pain too. So
Yeah.
So I switched over to a little tiny tenor. This is my beautiful Kuan Yin, is what I call her, the goddess of compassion.
Look at this.
That's got a beautiful front on it. What is the wood? What is it made of?
This one is called Spalted Mango.
Spalted mango. Wow.
Yeah, I've actually got spalted mango all over the wall, but every single one is totally different. So this is just a blonde version of it. We've got some redheads and some brunettes back there too.
Okay then.
And Perry's playing a mahogany.
This is the same one, but it's a mahogany.
Beautiful.
Very good.
So let's see if I can do this. Maintenant, en chanson de français. This song is called J'attendrai, and it originally was an anthem for the French people during the occupation, when they'd lost their freedom, and they would sing it as a way of saying, I will wait for you, I will wait for you. Like the little birdie who left the nest and may never return, I'll hold out hope that you're coming back to me. And they were singing to their soldiers and also to the concept of freedom. And I find that as we're all in our homes still, Perry and I haven't really left the house in
We're all
so
like
long.
little birds.
Little birds that wish we could leave the nest.
Waiting for something.
Waiting for our regular kind of hugging our friends and traveling and things to come back to us. So that's what's on my mind when we sing this song. And Perry will sing a little with me as well. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. J'attendrai les jours et la nuit. J'attendrai toujours ton retour. J'attendrai qu'à l'oiseau qui s'enfuit vient chercher dans son nid. Le temps passe et court en battant tristement dans mon corps si lourd. Et pourtant, j'attendrai ton retour.
Wow. Lovely.
you.
You guys sound so nice with your harmonies on that. I love that tune.
Well, Perry and I met in the recording studio, and we started hanging out, and we were like, let's go busk together for a date, you know? And one of our busking dates in Truckee, just outside of Tahoe, was him teaching me the song for several hours. So it's kind of a sentimental song for me, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was a start of something big.
Yeah, it felt like it at the time, you know, and it still feels that way now.
Good. Yeah.
And I believe we have one more for you.
That's right.
All right. This is this one's a little bit outside of the genre. Yeah, Perry's got his ukulele.
Is that a bass ukulele?
Yes, it is.
This is an Ohana.
Ohana bass ukulele.
Bass ukulele.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And this is a song from my new album that I made with Daniel Hull. And
that one?
That's it?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Took that picture with the sweet pea in our yard back in California. Yes, it's called Drop In My Flower, and it's available on my website. 6 songs, and it's like nothing you've ever heard. It's I've never been more proud of anything in my entire life. This is like exactly where my heart is. So it's a little bit outside the box, but it also harkens to a lot of situations that are topical right now. Even though I wrote this in an ongoing fashion and recorded it. Actually, we recorded it the Friday that the pandemic began.
Wow.
We were in Santa Monica in Daniel's home studio, and we all went out to have lunch, and we were like, what's going on? And we went to the grocery store, and the shelves were empty. And it was like that weekend that this album was recorded. And so we're going to be getting together with Daniel at the Albany Ukulele Festival in July to play in person. Maybe. We don't know, but that's the plan anyway.
If all goes according to plan, that's where we'll be.
So in a dream world. So this song is called Beautiful Strange World.
Yeah. Cool. Let's hear it.
It's just making sure it's in tune.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We live in a strange, strange world. We live in a strange, strange world. We live in a strange world, and all of us suffer one way or the other. Price that we pay for this strange, strange world. We live in a beautiful place. We live in a beautiful place. We live in a beautiful place, and it's not always easy to see this beautiful place in this strange, strange world. Not always easy, sometimes it's hard. Not always easy, sometimes it's hard. Not always easy, sometimes it's hard to imagine that we take for granted this beautiful place in this strange, strange world. Not always happy, sometimes I'm sad. Not always happy, sometimes I'm sad. Not always happy, sometimes I'm sad. I can't imagine my beautiful place in this strange world.
strange world. We live in a beautiful place. Not always easy, sometimes I'm sad. And I take for granted my beautiful place in this strange, strange world. Not always easy, sometimes I'm sad. As I make my way through this strange, strange world.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you so
Oh, I like
much.
that.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I love that tune.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. And so you wrote that like a little over a year ago then?
We recorded it then. Perry and I I was singing it in the KOA bathrooms when we were on our New Mexico ukulele tour, like back in 2017. And I couldn't decide on what verse words would happen, so I just ended up turning the verse just kind of changes every time it comes around.
Yeah.
And it evolves. Yeah.
Oh, I really like that. I love you get a really nice harmonic color with those two ukuleles, and
Mhm.
you know it's amazing to be able to get that much of a vibe and an orchestral sound, you know, with two ukuleles like that.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
It's very harp-like.
Yeah, that was really nice. Well, I'm going to do a couple songs myself, but I want to, before we do that, I'd like to get Jude to show us talk a little bit more about her quilts.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys. Well, I love colors and shapes, and I love graphic, and I love how when things intersect. And so I went from being a musician to, since I've been sewing my whole life, to quilting. And quilting is, I just want to let you know, a misnomer, because quilting is the sewing that holds the back and the stuffing and the front together. So what this is just like patchwork. And that's the front that everyone sees, and they say, "Oh, what a beautiful quilt." And sometimes it's just the front because it's just the composition, and it's really like you think you're done and you can post it on Instagram, but you're not. You still have like 50% to go. And anyway, long story short is that I am enamored of design and of composition and of art. And I just I love I wish I could show you some of my newer stuff, because everything is a kind of a line, like a timeline. But when people ask me, how long does it take for you to make it, or how much would it cost to buy it? I always say the quilt is sort of like just the end result of the process. And the process is, it's kind of like by the time it gets done, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to sell it or give it or whatever. And because I've learned so much, like every time, and some quilts are more than others, but I make my own patterns. And so I try to reverse engineer what I see a lot of times. And I'm not like super mathy or op art or anything like that, but I do love the crashing together of patterns and colors. And to me, it's got like a sense of wryness to it, and I'm just very intrigued by it. So yeah, so I have a library behind me, as you can see. It's not all filled up. I have more books upstairs on design and quilting and stuff. And I've got my computer sat on like 3 different books right now: Nick Cave, Chris Johnson book, and a Sophie Taubert art book, Today is Tomorrow. So there's all of these artists and makers and women in the past and men who have come up now doing it, and they all seem to be searching for this kind of order out of chaos. And whether they do it in a strictly linear graphic way, or whether they do it in a painterly way, or they've been to art school, or whatever it is. My particular approach is that if you could look around my studio, you would just see that I have stacks of fabric everywhere. And I'm working on 10 things at once. And I love fabric, and I'm just driven by fabric. And one more thing I just want to say, though, is that, and Casey, I know you will appreciate this, is that I am a musician, and I've been a musician my whole life also. And the thing that I always found kind of frustrating, even though music feels amazing to play and amazing to hear, my brain just sort of sees the structure of everything. And so I found that when I started sewing every single day, and of course I'm listening to lots of music while I sew, it was a lot more rewarding to me than writing music. And because music, it just exists in time, and then it's gone, unless you record it. And then even then it's gone. You're not listening to it all the time. And with fabric, you're surrounded by these tunes, so to speak, and it suits me like a lot better. But I do, I also, I start out with an idea, but I always let it tell me where it wants me to go. And there are people who do really improvisational stuff. And I've tried, fortunately now with the pandemic, there are tons of amazing lectures and workshops. I do them all the time and on Zoom. And I just, I have this group of like worldwide, it's a tribe, worldwide of people who I chat with and I hang out with, and we connect with ideas and stuff. And that came from fabric, and it's the same thing with music, but I'm just not in that world right now. But I feel like I'm getting, I'm just happy to say, I feel like I've just recently made a leap forward, and it's very inspiring. So it's really fun, and it's not going to stop me ever from buying fabric. If anyone ever asked me, don't you have enough fabric? I would go, you have not met me. So that's kind of like, there's so much there. It's endless. It's like music. It's like architecture. It's like anything. And I'm very interested in all that stuff. And, but I love, 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 love sewing. I love the madness of it. I love the frustratingness of it. I love the feeling that you're starting at square one, I love every time I walk into this, my sewing area is called the sew hole. And every time I walk into the sew hole and I think I know what I'm going to be doing, I'm schooled. So it's a wonderful thing. It's definitely made my life a lot richer,
You walk in there and you think, so what?
So what? There's so many bad puns with the word "so" in it that it's like my daughter and I are just always like going, so marvelous, and oh, you worked so hard, and so we're just going like, and so, so and so, hey Jude. So
do you take turns needling each other?
Sorry?
Do you take turns needling each other?
Totally. And here's the thing I found that's really fun is that, just like with musicians, is that you meet serious people, and some people just like really are into the super serious, like focus on the super serious thing, and they don't want to do wordplay, and they don't want to like drink or dance or listen to music or anything like that. And I always am like interested in kind of sitting down at least for a little bit of time to kind of get into their heads, and sort of see where they're coming from. Like one time I was at a workshop in New York City, and the woman sitting across from me was from Canada. And so I'm just sewing on something really hard. And I just said off the top of my head, I said, so do you ever imagine Pierre Trudeau in a Speedo, and it just came out, and she turned and looked at me and started saying that her family does not follow Pierre Trudeau and he's a horrible person. And and all that. And I'm just going, girl, I was just having fun with you. I wasn't talking politics here. I was talking to a good looking man, and obviously you don't want to talk about that right now. But most of the quilters and the sewists, that's the term. Most of the sewers, because sewer, so it could be called sewer, and
Yes.
so the sewists are pretty damn smart. I have met engineers, animators for The Simpsons, mathematics professors, just musicians, just incredible range of people who do this because it just grids their mind. It's like doing Sudoku puzzles or anything else. So it kind of fits me. It's a good tribe. It's a good tribe. And
I like what you mentioned about the form, and then also the fabric. Jessica loves fabric, and
she's awesome sewist.
We go fabric shopping whenever we go to Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
and also when we go to Vancouver, BC.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 3 different stores in walking distance, and then in San Francisco there's a good store, although it got downsized about a year or 2 ago. But
that's that big one in the middle of the city, isn't it?
Britex.
Yeah, Britex.
Yeah. And we were there when they were having a big sale when they were going to close and then reopen.
We need to do a group vacation in Minneapolis and go to that big ass store.
A Mood Fabric?
No, I forgot what it's called. I can't even believe it, but it's the hugest fabric store in the world.
Oh wow! When last year in Japan, our person who's from Seattle, Patricia Bellier of Okan Arts, she took us. She goes to Japan all the time to and everything, and she took us to this hole in the wall place that didn't have a sign above the door, and it was all kimono that had all been washed and all that kind of stuff, and there was nothing over $8, nothing. And so I had to buy an extra suitcase because I just like piled it, and I spent an evening in my hotel ripping apart kimono while I was watching some crime thing. And anyway, it's to me it's like a focus for kind of everything. It's the hub of a wheel with lots of spokes.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, well, I personally love looking at fabric, and I love the colors and the texture. Sometimes patterns, but primarily I love the colors, and then the quality of the fabric itself. And it doesn't matter whether it's silk or cotton or gabardine or whatever. It's got a nice hand, or the way it's woven is nice. Certain qualities, I love
when you and Jessica come down to LA again, we'll hang out in the Soho in between hot tub dips, and we'll handle the fabric.
Taboo.
Who needs our own hot tub? We'll just go to California.
That's right. That's right. Goddamn.
Hey, I'm thinking that it might be kind of fun if you accompany Jude while she pulls a quilt or two. You could have a musical background.
Oh, would you do that, Jude? And I'll
you? Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
All right.
Where the hell did she go?
All right. I didn't know I was going to do this. Okay. So when the pandemic started, no talking. This is called Connected.
Oh. Yeah.
And this is the back, all the seams and stuff. There's tons and tons.
Yeah.
And then this one, I was just thinking about Barack Obama's tan suit scandal. And so I did a quilt that has the tan.
Oh yeah.
And they're kind of all like just ideas that I have, like like I can't find this one right now that I really wanted to show you. I've got so many of them. It was called Amish Christmas in Japan, and because it had some Japanese fabric in it, but you know, a lot of times I'll make something, I'll experiment and I'll make a sample of something, then I'll make a sample of something else. And I'll go, oh, I made that sample a year ago. Why don't I pull that out and see if the two of them kind of work together? And then I'm kind of challenged to make bridges, you know, to make the two different parts.
Yeah. I'm going to put up a picture of your old near and dear ones.
Sure.
Yeah. These are some quilts you'd made back in the day.
A while back.
Yeah.
A while back. Like that pillow there that you see, that was because I was going to a friend's 4th of July barbecue and I wanted to bring a gift, and I had just seen a I'm spacing on his name, the artist's name who does the Ellsworth Kelly. I had just seen some Ellsworth Kelly works. And so I went, oh, okay, I'll do that. And then you know, I ran out of fabric in the middle and made that middle. It's very much like, what does it want to be next? You know? Yeah. So, and that's why you need to have a lot of fabric, right?
Exactly. Yeah. About this one with the
wavy lines.
Wavy lines up in the corner. Was that hard?
That one was an amazing experience. That was my early making quilts best in show, you know, and now I've got like, I'm in another chapter, you know, and that one, to tell you the truth, that's 36 of the same blocks. And they formed, they're supposed to go in this particular way, like all wavy across the quilt. And then I started turning the blocks around and I went, hey, this makes circles. Wow. You know, and so I just turned all the blocks around until I had a design that I liked. And then I went, okay, it's called Red Line. And then I sewed it together.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love that one.
So much. It's one of my favorite ones. Actually, it's like it's a good one. But yeah, so yeah. Well, thank you so much for giving me some time and a window showing my stuff. Thank you.
I'm gonna bring everyone on the screen here.
That's fun. I love that.
I'm practicing my.
It's music. It's just music and fabric.
Maybe we could get a quilt to keep Ronnie's friend warm. So before we go, I'd like to do a couple more songs, and I'm celebrating the composer Maceo Pinkard, who wrote Sweet Georgia Brown. But he also wrote a few other songs that you might recognize. Here's one of them. I fell in love with you the first time I looked into them their eyes. You've got a cute little certain way of flirting. Them their eyes. Oh, they make me feel so happy. They make me feel so blue. I'm falling, no stalling, falling in a great big way for you. My heart is jumping, baby, you started something. With them there eyes, you better look out, little brown eyes, if you're wise. Sparkle, bubble, they get you in a whole lot of trouble. Oh, baby, them there eyes. Them there eyes.
Yay!
Oh, it wasn't long enough.
He wrote, oh, this is a really fun tune. By the way, I've got a little bit of show and tell. I did this earlier on my show today, but isn't this a great cover?
Yes.
Wow, hold that up to the camera a little closer if you might.
Here we go. From 1997. And interesting thing about it, it's published by J.C. Handy. He was the guy who wrote St. Louis Blues. And later in life, he became a music publisher. And then on the back is an advertisement for a folio. And if you look really closely, isn't that a great cover? That is by an artist named MacGill Covarrubias, who did a lot of illustrations for Vanity Fair magazine back in the 1920s. and his
That's
illustration.
really interesting. I have a coworker whose last name is Covarrubias. I'll have to ask him if he's.
That's pretty.
I mean, that can't be. I don't know many people with that last name.
Yeah. How many Covarrubiases are there? That's
Probably a lot.
question, yeah. Anyway, this song "Sugar," it's a really cute song, and I told Jessica I was not going to play the piano and sing, but I've changed my plan, so I'm going to do that. Don't worry about that other. I'm just going to do one chorus, so it's not going to be a big deal. But I'm going to do this song. I want to dedicate this. You know, there was a lady in Seattle named Ruby Bishop, and Ruby almost made it to 100 years old. She was born in 1919, and she passed away in 2018, just shy of her 99th birthday. She was born in December, so she died shortly before that. But wow, what a spirit this gal was. And she used to do this song and would come and sit in with my trio at this restaurant we played at. And that lady would get very intoxicated also. For somebody in their 90s getting intoxicated, it was an experience, let me tell you. But she was just a real character, and she could really swing, and she had these long fingernails that she would have, done at the nail salon, and she would play with her hands really flat. It drove me crazy. I could hardly watch it. But in spite of all that, she really could swing, and this is one of the tunes that she loved to do. So we're going to send this out to Ruby wherever she is. Oh, we're here now. Hello. So, sugar, I call my baby my sugar, 'cause I'm sweet on my sugar. That sugar baby is so confectionery, honey. She never pleads for my money. And when I feed her on honey, she gets her needs every time. I'd make 1,000,000 trips to her sweet lips if I was a bee, 'cause she's sweeter than sugar candy to me. She's confectionery sugar. I never cheat on my sugar, 'cause I'm so sweet on my sugar. That sugar baby of mine. Isn't that a cute song? I love that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'd make 1,000,000 trips to her lips if I was a bee. What a great line.
Ruby, a lot of people covered that song, and but Ruby pretty much owned that. And she was a friend of a lot of well-known musicians, Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington and Ray Charles. And whenever these musicians would come to town on tour, she would go meet them and say, "What do you guys want to eat?" And she'd take their orders, and then after their gig, they'd all go over to her house and she'd cook for them. And they'd hang out and jam and drink and have a party. And
The ideal roadie.
one time I was talking to her about Armstrong, and she was telling me a story about him. And just for a second, she went into his voice, and it's like I got goosebumps, because just for a second, you could hear Armstrong's voice coming out of her. It was really, it was eerie. And anyway, so that's Sugar, Ruby Bishop. And I've got one more tune, and now this tune is a favorite of Jessica's. I like it too. It's called "Okay Baby," and this song was recorded by a great swinging band from the late 1920s called McKinney's Cotton Pickers, and they were out of Detroit, Michigan, and they had a standing gig at a ballroom called the Greystone Ballroom. And they were just a wonderful band. And their tenor player, George Thomas, used to sing this song. And so I want to do this for you. And if you're curious, go look them up on YouTube, McKinney's Cotton Pickers, and this song, "Okay Baby." Okay, baby, sweet as can be. Hey, hey, baby, wait till you see the ring that I picked out for you. 52 more payments, and it's yours, dear. Okay, baby, we'll run away. Hey, hey, baby, just name the day. Even if your mother wants to live with us free, it's okay, baby, with me. Okay, baby, sweet as can be. Hey, hey, baby, wait till you see the ring that I picked out for you. 52 more payments, and it's yours, dear. Okay, baby, we'll run away. Hey, hey, baby, just name the day. Even if your mother wants to live with us free, it's okay, baby, with me. It's okay, baby, with me.
Just 2 more payments and it's yours, dear.
I know, I love that line.
52.
Yeah, 52 more payments. Yeah, even if your mother wants to live with us free, it's okay, baby, with me.
It's okay, baby, with me.
I heard you playing that song this afternoon in your concert du jour. Is that what you call that?
Music du jour.
Music du jour.
I'm recycling. You caught me.
Oh, I didn't mean to call you out. I just wanted to make everyone who's watching aware that you have a daily concert that you do. I think
Thank
it's 1 o'clock.
That up. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. It's fun.
I'm broadcasting from 12:30. I do a short set Monday through Friday. And then this show, we only do once a month. So this is more of a special affair with special guests and cocktails and
Thank you so much.
And quilts.
And quilts.
And art.
That's right.
Yeah, how cool.
Let's not forget.
Yeah.
And by the way, Ronnie, you don't happen to have any drawings close by, do you?
I do, but they're not suitable for public consumption.
Oh.
And I just want to know, as a bass player, we just drink straight rubbing alcohol. This is a bass player's cocktail. We're used to the abuse.
That's the good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Are you more of a 70% man or an 82% man?
90
Go for the 99.
90
Yeah, right. That stuff's getting hard to find.
It's high octane, man.
Bass players, we got it. We got it by the.
Yeah. And it cleans your teeth as well.
No, it doesn't.
All both of them.
Yeah. That's right. Well, I want to thank everybody who joined the show today for being on it. And once again, Ronnie, thank you so much for being with us today. Next time, it'll be fun to get you to play some music for us. And Walter, always a pleasure to see you, sir.
An honor and a delight.
You are turned out magnificently this evening. And
thank you. I this is my special occasion.
Yeah.
You've thrown down the gauntlet in the wardrobe department.
I know. Your whole swagger, your whole presentation is definitely, I mean, everyone on the show looks fantastic. There's something about you that's very 007 though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
007. Maybe even 0007. I don't know.
I need a boutonniere though. I thought about harassing my camellia tree out front for a blossom, but I didn't get my act together in time.
That's very offensive.
Yeah, you totally don't have your act together.
Obviously.
I barely got pants on in time.
Well, you haven't seen me below the waist. I just want to.
That's true. There's no proof.
We're going to have to use our imagination.
Speak of Araby.
That's right.
So also, I'd like to thank my sister Sarah for being on the show. Sarah, thank you for joining us.
Yay!
Thank you,
Let's say
Sarah.
a couple of words about Sarah. Sarah, in addition to sporting a lovely scarf this evening, is a fantastic pianist, a ukulele player, and an aficionado and expert of African music. Now, African music primarily of Zimbabwe or different
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah, primarily of Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's my understanding. I heard this from Jessica that you guys have to learn all the different instruments in the ensemble. Is that true?
Well, it's advantageous to know as many parts as you can, because then you know what everybody else is playing, and when the whole sound gets together, you can kind of latch on better, you know.
And how many instruments are normally in one of the ensembles?
It depends. You know, there's the real traditional is 2 mbiras with Hosho player, but it can be any number of mbiras. It's just basically 2 parts that play kind of on offbeats from each other. And then a Hosho, which is a gourd rattles, which kind of hold down the, it sort of sounds like this. So that's kind of the feel of it. But then more recently, meaning 20th century and on, some of the music has been kind of transpositioned onto marimba ensemble, which the one we play in our group has 3 marimbas, soprano, tenor, and baritone. But there are big ensembles, especially in the Pacific Northwest. There's huge ones that have 7 marimbas.
Wow.
And then there's a whole, you know, there's lots of different musics because there's lots of different cultures within Zimbabwe. It's not just one culture, but there's a lot of drumming ensembles and singing, and you know, and there's dancing is incredible.
Dancing.
With rattles on your legs and stuff, and pots of water on your head, and I mean, it's just really incredible. Actually, I just want to say we're doing a project right now. I'm not involved personally in it, but with the San Francisco Symphony, which is pretty exciting. It's a series of concerts they're doing called. I always get it wrong. I always think it's Connect, but it's not Connect. It's something that starts with a C, though. Anyway, they're doing these concerts with various groups. The Bay Area is kind of known for its diversity of folk music, really, folk music and dance from around the world. And so they're doing these projects with different types of music. So there's a hip hop concert, and there's a Mexican music concert, and a Chinese music concert. And so we're actually working right now on arranging music for our group and the San Francisco Symphony, like a small group of symphony players.
Wow.
So it's kind of exciting, and it'll be streamed sometime in May.
Neat. There's a bunch of great Balkan bands. In the Bay Area.
Balkan. Yeah.
Balkan. So
Greek, Croatian, Serbian, Albanian, that part of the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bulgaria.
Bulgarian, Macedonian.
I'm going to show Sarah's. Sorry.
Yeah, I also do a lot of teaching right now. I teach piano lessons, and I teach ukulele, and I teach classes, and I do it once a month also, but it's more of a play along session. So it's a sing along, play along thing. So it's just kind of, just trying to get the club feel. The clubs are kind of shut down right now, so trying to keep the club feel going, and have my students and friends come. Yeah. So
there you go.
Music.
There's
Brook Street Music. That's me.
Music. Look at that.
That's a nice logo.
And it's just brookstreetmusic.com. And you can find out about my monthly play-alongs there and other things.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
And next time you're on, we'll have you play a song for us.
That's great. That'd be great.
On the
I'm going to put in a plug for next month because it's Women's Month, and I want to. I've been working on collecting some songs, particularly songs of women composers. I mean,
Does that
there you
mean
go, Dan.
we men get the other 11?
Yeah, right. But but I tend to pick things that are a little more off the beaten track that people don't usually play on ukulele. So that way I don't have to compete with anyone.
Have you heard of Kay Swift?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she wrote "Can't We Be Friends" and
Right.
"Fine and Dandy."
Right. And I just got you to find me that song from Sylvia Fine.
Yeah,
that's really nice song, lovely song.
Fine and Dandy. Not. Is there any relation to the reggae tune by
Toots and the Maytals?
Toots and the Maytals? Right. Yeah.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Totally
Good.
different.
I just that would have been interesting.
This one is more of a show tune. From the late.
Things go through strange.
Oh, the Sylvia Fine song?
No, the song.
Okay.
Yeah, Sylvia Fine was married to Danny Kaye, comedian and actor, and wrote most of his material.
Song-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some pretty fun stuff in there, but this is a ballad.
When next month is that going to be?
I don't know. I'm just working on some songs, but I'm saying I would like to be on your show next month, unless you already have it filled.
Okay.
So I can do a women composer song that maybe nobody's heard of before. That would be kind of cool.
For you, $20.
For you, $20. Yeah.
Yeah. We can do that. We can reserve a spot for you. You bet. That'd be fantastic.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
That's all right. That's the only kind we have here.
Right. Well, you get to be a certain age, and the shame just goes out the window.
Yeah.
That's how you get stuff done.
We haven't had any of that around here for a long time. So once again, everybody, want to thank Danny and Perry for those great performances.
Thank you, Casey, and thanks everybody.
Thank you, Casey, so much for inviting us. We've been big admirers of yours for a long time. So this is really a dream.
Thank you. I like to keep my big admirers close by, Thank you. And no, I love everything that you were playing today, and your original song was fantastic. I'm going to have to get a copy of your CD. I definitely want to.
I'll send you a copy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd love to have that. Be fun to listen to. So we're going to say adios and finish up with a little film clip of a nightclub performance, and then those of us on the air, if you want to hang out for a little bit afterwards, we can commiserate post-show. We're going to have a little post-show wind down. But to those of you out there, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to drop a little something in the virtual tip jars for Danny and Perry. And then we've got one too here. And thank you so much for being on the show today, and also for listening. And we'll look forward to seeing you next month for another cocktail hour. And I know that we'll be there, and Sarah definitely will be there. And
hi, Jude.
Hey, hey, Walter. Hey, everybody. I ran out of juice, and here I am. So are you guys signing off now? Are you signing off?
We're about to say goodnight to our audience, and yep.
Yeah, we're
what
about.
A fun thing.
And then we'll stick around and drink until the wee hours.
There we are.
Not me, babe.
Here comes our little exit music.
Nice.
This is a bar called Vito's in Seattle, and we're going to get the sound up here in just a sec. Is that the volume on the screen? No sound yet.
soda, sugar gin. Look at the spell you got me in. Oh my, do I feel high? Dry martini,
Sorry,
blood in your eye. Baby, do I feel high? Oh me, oh my. How about Baker's soda?
Every time I come, I feel like I'm
Do I feel high?
trying my best.
People don't believe me. They think that I'm just bragging, that I should feel the way that I do. Still beyond the wagon. All I need is one of your smiles, sunshine from your eye. Oh me, oh my. Do I feel higher than a kite can fly? Give me loving, baby,